definitely want to get into as we were there. So, kind of like summarizing this entire thing, the 5 things we learned about Anime NYC 2024, and number one has to be, well, there's a couple. We get to the cosplay. Number one for me has to be that One Piece is still massive after all these years.
I think right now, can I even say I got even a hotter take? One Piece may be the hottest it's ever been.
Ooh, you might be right. You might be right.
This is probably the highest One Piece has ever been.
Talk
Like
about it.
from cosplay, which listen, Luffy Law.
Right. A lot of people. So we use this as a gauge to kind of like
Yeah,
figure out their
yeah, we use
popularity
this
in
as a like,
anime,
but like
and
it,
there's so much One Piece, um, essentially cosplay, so much like activities. I feel like a lot of people gravitated towards that this year
it's
more than any. Even if, and this is the year, right? Like it's technically like the 25th anniversary of Naruto, and Naruto is also a
yeah,
big one. But I feel like just One Piece still going on, still running strong. The manga's still
yeah.
running strong. The
It's
anime's
like I'm
still
saying
running
though, it's just
strong.
like from the cosplay to the conversations
It
to
reminded me of like DBZ in 2018 when Dragon Ball Super was really at the peak of its powers,
oh yeah,
and
for sure.
a lot of it's just the conversation around Dragon Ball was just like bigger than it's ever been, and Dragon Ball's
You
already big
see it
enough.
everywhere. You see it everywhere. You talk about it everywhere. Yeah, you hear the little side bit conversations of you gotta watch it. Oh, it ain't too long. I mean, obviously
Right,
they're doing the you hear you hear people talking about how they will tap into the remake because no, it's gonna be more condensed. So it's just I mean, there you've seen it everywhere. The figures, the booming. You see everyone with their, their big choppers and their chopper hats and their, like
right,
it's it's just something about the way the fan base has not only grown in terms of the amount of people, but it's like intensified. Where it's
right,
just like now, it's like you said, it's like that time where Dragon Ball Super was at its peak, and it was just like everything is Dragon Ball heavy. People want to do the Dragon Ball cosplays. People want to talk about Dragon Ball. You're talking about the leaks. Oh man, this that. So it's at that point, and obviously One Piece for it running as long as it has been, it's been in the picture in the game for a very long time.
right.
It's always been top 5 at some point in time. But I think right now where it's at, it's like this is maybe the strongest it's ever been.
Absolutely. Like it's One Piece with the live action and everything going on. Like it's like you said, the biggest that it's ever been. The second thing that we wanted to talk about, second major thing we took away from it, is that Netflix is growing as an anime studio and distributor, um, and part of that may include One Piece.
Yeah.
Um, Pretty much at its home there, and they have the live action, all these other things there. But I think the two major centerpieces, especially on Saturday, they had these really two major panels presented by the G Kid Studio, but these are Netflix. I won't say exclusive, but they're Netflix predominant animes. And the biggest panels by far of the weekend were Don Da Don and Terminator. What's it called? Terminator what?
Zero.
Terminator Zero.
Which I
Um,
did which I did watch over this weekend,
you finished
and
it?
I loved it. I love it
I
so much.
I got one episode left. Um, Netflix is really like, so when Netflix kind of came into the game with anime, the reason I enjoyed it was pretty much like, okay, improve quality of life. I don't have to get up to skip this shit. I don't have to, I can 1.25, like you get the Netflix UI that you get with so many other shows and so many other things that you enjoy, and now you're getting it with kind of anime. But now they've kind of grown where they're, at first they had a little bumpy road. I mean,
Oh
Yasuke.
yeah, for sure.
But and then also like the Cowboy Bebop live action, which was
I mean, the way
solid.
of the house husband, like them early um Netflix kind of productions
Right.
were it was very hit or miss. I think that they were really trying like to really get their foot in the game. They're trying to get some real eye catching things.
Yeah,
Um,
but I think now that they're it's interesting in the way they're promoting things now, right? So now they're kind of dealing with entities that already have a strong base under it. And that's why you're getting so many remakes. We're getting the Terminator Zero one, and I think there's another one that's coming out that I'm bugging. That might be on Netflix. Um but Terminator is something, the entity, especially in the United States, that we all really know. But then they
Yeah.
have Don, which is this big anime that's coming out this fall. And when you talk about like the new anime of the year, the kind of what you can stamp on it, Don is one of them ones, especially with studio behind it. It's got great artwork. It looks like it has a great story.
Mhm.
I personally have not read Don yet. I know everyone has told me read Don. I said, listen, I'm gonna wait till it come out. I'm gonna wait till it pull up, even though it low key pulled up already.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna wait for it to pull up. I know.
We know nothing about that. We know
Right, right,
nothing.
right, right, right. But it's the big one of the year, essentially,
Yeah, for
alongside a
sure.
couple that dropped earlier this year. And then they have I believe at the end of this year, top of next year, they have Sakamoto Days,
Yep.
which
And Fortune
is
had a great presence this year too. Um, Definitely.
yeah, but so Netflix is kind of like Netflix is moving this year. And I think that even some other entities as well. We saw first. I don't know if they were there last year, but this was the first time I saw like a Hulu activation at Anime
Yeah.
NYC, and they were out on the actual floor with everyone else, and I was like, oh yeah, Hulu. I mean, Hulu does have anime. I watch Go Go Loser Rangers is definitely on that. A couple
Pretty sure they
other
have damn near all the Mobile
Bleach.
Suit Gundams.
Yeah, they
So
got Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War arc, so you can catch that there. It's Hulu Disney, so it's like anything that's on Disney plus Hulu. That's kind of where they're entering. So it's really like this arms race of like, yo, which one is going to be the baddest bitch of them all and have the baddest bitch anime that's there.
yeah.
So Netflix did its thing this year. Shout out to Netflix. Of course, the entire con is sponsored by Crunchyroll, or at least powered by Crunchyroll, so it's definitely there as well. But Netflix really like stepped forward and said like, "Yo, we making our presence known." They had all the voice actors introduce a lot of things. I believe they premiered something else. No, it was G Kids. I don't think it was actual Netflix, but there was something else that like was revealed over the weekend at Anime NYC. It was definitely revealed on a Friday, but I can't remember it right now. But,
Yeah.
but with that said, the next point is we might be in the new era of anime.
We really might. I think that obviously you got a lot of, I don't want to say pillars. It's not really that. It's like, I think when you look at manga, it usually translates into anime. Kind of
Right,
what's going on in the manga world is going to eventually go into anime.
right,
MHA, JJK, cool. I think right now it's hard. I feel that there was a time in anime where there was like one, two, maybe three animes that like really dominated a conversation.
right.
Like you had your Dragon Ball, you had your big three, and then it's kind of like after that, you kind of had these other really big ones. It's kind of like, okay, these things dominate. I think now we're such in a widespread era
Yeah,
where it's like you're like, oh shit, that's coming out. Oh shit, that's coming out. Damn, we're still talking about this, and that happened like earlier last. Like I feel like now the playing board is so crazy and so wide and so vast. You
yeah,
just look at it, you're like, holy shit, like we've been saying it for a while that we're kind of like in this kind of golden like anime's bigger than it's ever been and this and that. But it's like I feel like right now we're kind of at the peak of that peak.
right.
Or we're getting close to the peak of that peak where you're just like, holy shit, like it is everywhere. And,
And
and like and there's so much great production coming out of it too.
absolutely. I think one of the things with Anime NYC, especially this year, there were so many different activations for so many other anime this year. I mean, there was one for Sakamoto Days, there was one for Blue Lock, there was one for Tower of was
Tower of
it
God,
yeah, there was one for solo leveling. I mean, there's really so many different
Kaiju
options.
number 8 one. There
Right.
was they had the Terminator, the one, and that once again another thing that after the cons, after the previews, everyone was talking about it. Like, yo,
Yeah.
this is another great one. You like you said, Sakamoto Days had that. You still got the classics. Like you said, One Piece had their thing. So it was just it once again, it's at a we're at a level that we've just where you're just kind of like, how much bigger can it get?
Right.
Like, you know,
And
you're like,
I think it's because of those pillars, right? Like it's because of everything that happened in like kind of the arts where it's really building up the anime conversation that we get there, and there's so much now being invested within anime as a product, not only just in the United States now, but like worldwide,
mm,
because there are so many different things, Mashal,
yep,
all these other places and big things that are happening at the con. Viz had their Viz store where you can get like manga now or like the new things in manga. So not only are you being kept to date with everything up in anime, but you're now kept to date with up now. If you choose to do so, you can like get into some manga. So it's definitely we're in a new era, so many different types of cosplay. Not only just even though One Piece kind of really dominated the scene with everything, I do feel like there's so much different cosplay from. I mean, you can check it on our Instagram page and see everything that's kind of there and pictures that we took over the weekend, and then more pictures that's to come.
yes, more
Um,
pictures to come.
so another bit, and I think this is a this continues with this conversation. Number four thing is the anime continues to approach its peak in popularity, and I think we've talked about this so much with the conversation that we've had. But anime is just continuing to build over the next couple of years, and again, this convention, which is one of the biggest, and I say that because more so now. Last year, 64,000 people showed up to Anime NYC. This year, 101,000 people showed up.
And
That's
it
over.
felt like 101.
Oh, it
Like,
absolutely felt like 101,000 people
yes,
because
it
you could
felt
not move. It was every
crazy.
nook and cranny. Like I think the lightest day was probably Sunday, but every day, the day we went Saturday, you couldn't. We got lost with our friends. We met back up with them. Like we
It was like an anime. It was the
right.
journey. We all were breaking off and going on different journeys, and they coming back.
And
And
there's so many people that's just there. Like so many people purchase tickets, so many people just existing there. Whether you're in cosplay or not, everybody of different ages, parents with their children, people with their friends, everything of the rather. Like anime has really like built to this new impressive place in society where it is definitely becoming mainstream. When you
mhm.
look about the 2000s and everything then, anime wasn't necessarily mainstream, and really the only places you can catch it, you catch it in three parts on YouTube, trying to watch it and catch up with Naruto or whatever the hell you're trying to do. But now it's so accessible with Hulu, Netflix, Crunchyroll. It's so prominent with all these characters kind of popping out with live actions with One Piece and Cowboy Bebop and all these other things.
I
And
mean,
now,
even too, you think about how many panels were hosting Japanese voice actors.
right, I think the
You know,
culture
like,
we've also begun to accept the even Eastern culture now, um, within the things that we've done now, like
yeah,
within how we accept anime. So it's a much more wide variety. But yeah, definitely the Japanese voice actors coming.
like they're coming here and having an audience. They're coming here and having a little market of people being like, "Oh, I know who that is." You
Right.
know, even, and it's great to see it, especially when when you think about like anime being this connector.
Hmm.
Anime being this connector between two cultures, two different parts of the world, and we're all connecting on this thing, and we're able to, like, once again, have our favorites over there. Well, I'm sure they come over there and they're just, it's just great to see, and it's great to be a part of. Um,
Absolutely.
you just being there, you feeling the love, you see the people. It was cool capturing some pictures when they were doing the cosplay meetups. And just seeing all these people who probably never met each other ever in their life, but like
Right.
in that moment in time, they're best fucking friends because they just so happen to dress up as the same character or two characters from the same show.
Right. And it's great, and I think that's one of the big proponents, especially of anime conventions over the last number of years, because they are this great like place where culture intersects with community, and it's this great opportunity to just enjoy anime with your friends and be able to be the fan that you are with the
Hmm.
people who are also fans of them. So
Yeah.
Anime NYC really brought the people together. I'm assuming people from I got to read the press release. I'm assuming everybody from every state decided to show up this year. Um, because 101,000 people is nuts. That's more than WrestleMania. That's more than the Super Bowl. That's more than everybody, and they were all centered, bought tickets for one weekend at one place. So that is incredibly dope. And our last point for the five things we took away from Anime NYC 2024 is that the summer is by far a million times better than having this convention in the fall.
Oh yeah,
Um,
for sure.
the
Listen,
the accessibility, the the weather, the
the
weather is the
weather.
big key.
Yeah, no, the weather for sure. You know, people want to be outside. You want to be out. You want to be moving about. Like it wasn't. It definitely wasn't like super hot. We got on a good weekend. You
Right.
know, breezy 80.
It was
Um,
good.
it was good, and
Even though even the lines outside, like I remember, I mean, I was never on the lines because I was impressed.
yeah, listen, we was
Um,
never at the lines,
we've
but
never done a line. Even when they were trying to make us in the line, we was like, nah, I'm not doing
not
this
getting
line.
in line.
Um, being out at the Javits Center in late November is not fun at all because one, it's by the water. Two, it's extremely freezing. And three, there's hundreds of people waiting online to get inside who are also freezing in whatever cosplay that they are bundled up in under their North Face. So
Yeah,
it is by far the change to summer for Anime NYC has been the greatest, I would say.
and I think too, you get that. I think they get that added New York summer energy. You
Yeah,
know, like people were excited and lively and just like, hey, we here. We're jumping around. We all got our thotty versions of whatever
right.
whatever cosplay we got on. Everybody was Zorro with no shirt. It was great.
Yeah, no,
Like
it was
you got the
amazing.
energy.
Like
You were happy to be there.
it's be a New York summer is undefeated, as they usually say. And this kind of like prove it. And this was like a great, like if this was your final event for the summer, this was an amazing way to kind of like take it out. You know what I'm
For
saying? Or
sure.
if this was your trip to New York City for the summer, it was an amazing weekend to experience all of this. But it proved with the results, with the amount of people who showed up this year, with everything and kind of do that the change from a fall convention to a summer convention is big. And next year they're going to be the same weekend. So I believe it's like the weekend of August 22nd through August 25th. I could be wrong. 2025. They're doing it again. So again, Anime NYC is probably the hottest ticket you can get at the end of summer, especially if you're an anime fan. And take this from somebody who went to Fanatics Fest, where arguably there's actual like real celebrities that people would know in our hemisphere. There's Jay Z, DJ Khaled, Drewski, sports Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and not to say that these aren't bigger, but the anime community is just like so much more enforced than anything. So it's
Yeah, for
definitely
sure.
big. It was definitely awesome.
Yeah, and once again, it was just I think the summer part is what added to it feeling like that first year
Right.
of just like everyone was there. And granted, it was packed, it was thick, people were rubbing shoulders for sure, but there was never a moment or a time where you're kind of just like the energy feels staticky in here. Something kind of pop. Like it was always felt like, man, everyone is just happy to be here. Everyone is
Absolutely.
just excited to be in this space, in this area. They had plenty of great events happening outside of Anime NYC, or Anime NYC inspired events outside. But it's like people wanted to go to those. People
Right.
wanted to go to the parties, and people wanted to do so. It's just it was great, man. Like I think, like you said, the energy, the feeling in the air, it was an amazing time. And obviously the summer really added to it. Especially and also too when we went, those buildings be turning them streets into damn wind tunnels.
Yeah, for sure. No, that
You
wind will
walking
whoop
with
your
the hat
ass.
down, you be blowing.
Yeah, no, the wind will whoop your ass for sure. So I'm just glad you didn't have to experience it this year.